I asked the question earlier in the week, help from family. This is something all caregivers are wanting. Why can't we get it? And you guys came back with a bunch of responses. I'm going to share a few of them with you tonight before we get into the bulk of our conversation, the 5 steps that we can take to help get family members involved in helping us, right? My name is Bethany. I'm the creator of the Caregiver Tribe. I love this space, this community that we are all part of. I've been caregiving for the past 20 years for a family member and professionally, led me to start my own home care agency. And so I just like to honor and recognize caregivers. And in this space, we also have a group, caregiver support, tips, tools, and resources. I think that's the name of it. I always get it fuddled, but it's something along those lines. I'll link it in this video when I'm done. All right, so help from family. This is something that we're all wanting. And go ahead and say hello if you're here with me. I love to know that you can hear me okay and that you're here. All right, so we had some comments come in. Some people just don't have it in them, right? So some people just aren't able to do this. Some people feel because it's not like the good old days when families were close-knit, when they were tight-knit together. And I found that really interesting because upon some researching, how many of you are watching this from the United States? How many of you are in the US? Upon some researching, we are a country that, hi Anna, that we put our time and our energy and our focus kind of into our younger people and younger generation and them succeeding, where in other countries they put a lot of focus into honoring their elderly or their family members who maybe have disabilities, things of that nature. So I thought that was really interesting. And you guys said it, it's just not like the good old days, or it's not like other countries, at least here in the US. Okay. Some people, meanwhile, would like to help. However, I believe some people love more than others. This is from Todd. It is that love that drives us to go above and beyond, and why we are dedicated to care and others don't. They aren't bad people. They just love in an average or normal capacity. So he's saying caregivers are a little above and beyond with their love, right? If you agree with that, live or replay, hit your heart button, right? Let's go ahead. Let the love flow around here. Okay, and Linda said, so true. It's a lonely, hard journey, but I rest easy knowing that I'm bringing comfort and security to someone who is scared about what is happening. Wow, that's real, right? Like you can feel that. It is all consuming, but also makes me feel good that I can be there. So that's really nice. Then some people were just saying, that's a good question. I've been wondering myself, like, why can't I get family to help? So you watching right now, live or replay, I was just reading some of the comments from this week's post about getting family to help. We're going to dive into it, some 5 steps that I have found that have worked for me personally, and also with the families I work with the home care agency, pulling some of these in for that. I'm going to share it with you. But do you have help? Does family help? In your situation? Tell me about your situation and if your family helps or if they don't help or what that's looked like. Go ahead and share. Now, all right, I'm gonna hop over and talk now about those 5 steps, okay? You ready for that? All right, and I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, here we go. 5 steps. Okay, so I have seen this over and over again in my home care agency when it comes to mom and dad to need all the support that a primary caregiver provides. It's one child that usually steps up while others take a back seat and they kind of exhale a sigh of relief, right? And you might feel like you just signed up for this huge responsibility that might be foreign to you. Like you raised your hand, you said, yes, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do it, but whoa boy, what have I signed myself up for? Lois says, hi Lois, minimal family help, easier to criticize than actually help. And I've heard that, a lot, and I just don't understand how somebody I don't understand how somebody who's not in your shoes can criticize you. That blows my mind how they can do that. If they're not walking the walk that you are every day, how can they criticize? I get you, Lois. I get you. All right, so why do they leave you hanging? Sometimes the person who steps up to be the primary caregiver, let's talk about this, also likes to take charge, get things done, and feels like they're only going to be able to get it right. It's that kind of thinking, if I want something done, I'm just going to do it myself, right? That's me. I'm kind of like a take charge person, so like grab the bull by the horns, right? And take charge. So maybe that's why they leave you hanging, because you're just like steamrolling ahead, right? But also, why have they gone MIA? Perhaps your sibling has not had the best relationship with your loved one. Maybe they cannot let it go or work through it. I got 3 things here for this before I get into the 5 steps. So maybe they have a bad relationship. Maybe that's what's happening. Within some families, it's also perceived that the new primary caregiver has it all under control. We're going back to that whole control thing, why they first step back, right? And they don't want to interrupt, they don't want to step on toes or insert themselves into something that is seemingly fine. Number 3 reason why your sibling or family has gone MIA, maybe because they live out of town or out of state. They don't feel like there's anything that they can do to help. So they just listen on the phone and sympathize rather than doing any sort of action, which you need. But, I mean, yes, okay. So now that we've laid that groundwork, we've kind of acknowledged it, like this happens because one person steps up, the rest of the family kind of takes a step back, lets that person go for it, and maybe they didn't step up because of those reasons, the relationship reasons, like just letting you have the reins, or maybe they live, it's logistics. So now that we've laid that groundwork of why this happens and how it happens, let's talk about those 5 things and 5 ways, those 5 steps that we can bring the team back together. Because after all, it does take a team of sorts to manage and provide all this necessary care. Do you agree? Go ahead and type in, let me know if you agree with that. All right, here comes the 5 things. So number 1, have an honest conversation with your family member. Thank you for those hearts, I saw them. With your family. Here's a little script, right? And I will link this out. This is a part of a blog post that I'm reading from that I wrote, and I will link out when it's all complete right here in the comments, so you can come back and read all of the pieces, because I'm not giving the whole thing right here, just a little bit of it. But if you don't have like a pen and paper and you want to come back, you will be able to do that. I should have this linked out tomorrow. All right, so have that honest conversation with a family member. Hey, I know you and Dad didn't always see eye to eye. However, at this time in his life, it might be different, perhaps even easier to have a relationship with him, right? Some of those things from the past might be dissolved. They might just not be present. So try that. Or try this angle. Hey, I respect and understand you and Dad don't have the best relationship. However, to help him and honor his wishes of staying home, I really need some help. Have any of you tried that? Like, hey, I just need some help. Who's tried that? If it's okay if you don't want to help him, like if that's still a thing, but would you consider helping me if I outline some task I'm struggling to keep up with? And just being very specific about that ask. All right, so I want to read this. Anna says, my brother is the main caregiver. My sister and I live in another state and country. I have been traveling for many years and stopped work so I can travel more often to help. Oh my gosh, I feel I do more than the brothers that live in town. Wow, so that's really hard. So it sounds like you have multiple siblings, right? Yeah, so you have multiple siblings there to work with. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, we're going to get to that, Anna. And that's so nice of you and good of you that you make the time to do that traveling. Because not everybody can. Okay, so number 2. So number 1, we're going to have an honest conversation. Number 2, we're going to tell them how you are feeling in this newfound role. Hey guys, taking care of dad full-time is humbling and also consuming more time than I realized it would be. My days are spent assisting assisting him with every aspect of his personal needs. I do bathing, dressing, toileting, medications, meals, cleaning the house, taking him to appointments, or making phone calls in an effort to coordinate his care. Like, just list it out. Care tasks, list them out, everything you do, right? I'm realizing in order to continue doing this for as long as dad needs me to, I'm gonna need some support. Here's what I'm needing, and I want you to know I appreciate your considerations and any time that you may have, okay? So we're having that honest conversation with them. This is what it looks like, guys, and I need some help. Then if that doesn't get it going, tell them how you're feeling. Okay. Here's another angle, another step to take. You can try to form a no pressure care team. Because I said it takes a team, right? So to start this, do not be vague. You have to be so precise in your needs during this process. This goes for the person who's also offering help. How many of you have people that say to you, let me know if you need anything. Is there anything I can do? Just let me know. Let me know. And you're like, if you're like me, you're like, that sounds nice, but wow, that's broad. I don't know your skill set. I don't know your strengths. I don't know really what you're willing to do. Like, are you willing to come clean my house? That is it's a kind gesture. Please don't get me wrong. But it goes nowhere, right? Does it ever go anywhere when somebody says, let me know if I can do something, right? No, it never goes anywhere because it's too broad and it's confusing. And a confused mind always says no. It shuts down. It goes, nah, moving on, right? What we really say is, thank you, I'll let you know, I'll keep that in mind. But we never actually assign them a task. We don't know their strengths or their comfortability. Like, hey, are you willing to, give dad a shower? No, I don't think so, right? Hey, Christy, welcome. All right, so instead, we're going to tell the siblings, we're going to tell our family and friends who have all raised their hand, all those people who have said, let me know if you need anything. This could be Aunt B. This could be your brother Jimmy. This could be your neighbor Diane. Whoever has said, if you ever need anything, just let me know. Can I help? Is there anything I can do? All those people are going to be contacted in step 3. We're trying to form our care team. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can talk to them verbally, individually, get on the phone with them, or you can send an email. What I like about email is it's black and white. It's right there. You can perhaps put everybody, if they know each other, on the same email. So everybody's like, oh, well, they're seeing it. Ooh, it kind of raises this level of like, okay, this is kind of happening and we're all brought together for this one common thing, right? So here's what we're gonna do. This is what it could look like. You could be asking them these things. You could say, here's what I would like help with so I can focus on all the other caregiving pieces. This is my caregiver wish list, all right? And just put this right in the email to them. Pick up dad's prescriptions. I need somebody to make 1 meal per week. Sit with him a few hours on Thursday afternoons so I can go to my appointments. Like, let me have Thursday afternoons to myself so I can schedule stuff for myself, for my own care, right? Take him out for a ride or for ice cream. Seeing another face than mine is really important. And it's important to him, it's important to you, it's important to your relationship, right? When you're taking care of a loved one, There's got to be a different face in there, okay? So go ahead, email that out to the people, anybody who's raised their hand in your family, the friends, and has said, if you need anything, let me know. They go on the email. Does that sound good? Is that something you feel comfortable doing? Or is this like, whoa, this is way out of my comfort zone? Let me know, okay? But we're trying to allow them to pick and choose. Like, instead of going, oh, I know my sister needs help. I know she's swamped with dad, but I just don't know how to do it, and she handles it all so well. If she sent me this, I would go, I can do 1 meal per week, right? And here's the thing. If I'm saying I can do 1 meal per week, and Aunt B can do 1 meal per week, and the neighbor Diane can, guess what? That's 3 meals per week. They don't even need to know that. They don't need to know that. Sit with it, you know, there's things here that they can pick and choose what they can do. So Anna said many times I made a list of all the things they can help with and asked them to choose a thing. See, you've got it. Yes, we're on the same page. Get the groceries, get the medication, do some things, but they do it one time and they don't do it anymore. Yeah, so there's a consistency issue there, right? There's like being consistent, kind of dedicating time, being consistent. That's the issue here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm glad you said this, Anna. So once you receive these verbal or written responses back from this email, okay, then you're going to lock it into your schedule. You're going to lock it in, and maybe you do like a shared Google calendar or something else, but you're going to lock it all in so everybody can see it. All right, so I think the Google calendars or those shared ones are pretty simple, right? And if anybody has another resource, please share that with us, because I'm not really up on all that, I'll be honest. But this is going to be a visual schedule for this care team that you're forming. This really relaxed, like no pressure, but it's still a team that you are forming, okay? This visual aid will help others see what everyone else is doing. They're going to see that Aunt B's bringing dinner 2 nights a week. And they're going to go, well, if Aunt B can do that, I guess I can go over on Thursday nights and sit with Dad, or Thursday afternoons. And I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to be committed. I'm going to stay consistent, because if they're on the schedule doing their thing, it's going to look pretty bad if I'm on the schedule and I'm not doing my thing, right? And they're going to probably know about it, because it's going to get out, and that's not cool. That's not okay. All right? So whether you can also, if you feel the need to do so, oh, Christy, yes, that's okay that you have to leave. The replay will be here. Thank you for letting me know. And usually it's Thursday afternoons at 4. I bumped this out to 8. 8 o'clock seems to be a better time for everybody, so we might just do 8 o'clock on Thursdays. Yeah, so we can do that. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a good night. All right, so you also, on that calendar, if you want to, this is optional, not necessary, you can put in your caregiving schedule. So if you want to put in the hours that you do each day, they're going to see that. If you want to put in, took Dad to doctor, or Dad's got doctors this day, Dad had shower this day, he had exercises Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I did with him. If you just want to, like, kind of nonchalantly, like, add that in there so they see, like, holy cow, you do a lot. We're very happy to just do this, right? Right? It's kind of like, you guys, if they don't see it, they don't know. They don't know. They don't get it. They just kind of keep going on with their day, and they don't fully understand it. It's kind of like, I've had people offer to come and sit with my dad. My dad's nursing home level of care. And I'm like, that's super sweet, but you can't just come here and sit with my dad. He has a lot of needs. He's in bed right now. He lives downstairs from me. He's in bed. He's good. But he has that's so kind, that's so sweet. But let me give you another task. I need some help with laundry. Could you come do that maybe one day while I'm here? So I kind of delegate that way. But they don't know, is what I'm getting at. All right, the last thing that I would recommend, number 5 here, is give an update. And you're like, what? Why would I do that? I don't got time for that. Let's make a tiny bit of time for this. And this could be weekly or bi-weekly. Choose maybe like every other Sunday, where you send an email to the care team. Make them feel included, right? Letting them know of any updates. This could be regarding changes in health, medications, trips to the doctors, etc. Things like that. This is also going to be an excellent place in this email to show some recognition, right? So tell Aunt B in that email to the whole care team how Dad loved that sweet potato casserole, okay? And then let Brother Jimmy know that Dad went on and on about the movie that they watched Thursday afternoon together. He enjoyed it so much. Just thank them. Show some recognition, and believe me, it's going to make them feel good, want to do more, and be part of the team instead of just like an unknowing spectator. Like just somebody that sits back and goes, I know she does a lot, but I don't know how to help. But I don't know how to interject into it. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to bother them. Oh, now I'm just on to my own life and busy with my own life, right? Let them know. Show the recognition. Bring them in. Let them be part of the care team. Okay, and some of you are like, well, what if none of this works? What if none of this works? And that's a real possibility. If none of this works, if none of those steps work for you and your family, then it's imperative to your health and your loved one's health and their well-being that you get outside help. Okay? So this could be a house cleaner, or you could hire a home care agency to come in and do the personal care, the housekeeping, medical errands. Take that off your plate. You could hire them 1 day a week, 2 days, 3 days a week. There's ways to get help for paying, of course, with these services through Medicaid. VA has benefits as well. Long-term care insurance has benefits. There are ways, but that's going to be for another discussion for that. But if your loved one doesn't qualify for any of that stuff because they have too many assets, it might be an appropriate time to have a discussion about using those assets to help them age safely and in a healthy way at home with you and needing to tap into some of those resources to make that happen. That's a very common discussion. A lot of people have a hard time with it, but it's very common. It has to happen because it's like one or the other, right? You got to have help. You can't do it alone. So I hope that this helped you. I will, like I said, I'm going to publish my blog post to my website tomorrow. It's BethanyRatcliffe.com. And I will share the link so you can go ahead and read through over all of this again and really have it all nailed down. I want to hear from you too if it helps, so please let me know. All right, you guys have a great night and take care.